From Carolla One Studios in Glendale, California, this is the Adam Carolla Show. Adam's guest today, Jay Mohr. Plus the news with Chris Loxamana. And we will begin the Irate 8 of March Madness. And now, someone who always wants more of more. Adam Carolla.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get on the Judgment Amendment. Get it on. Thanks for tuning in. Seeing the ratings going up, so I appreciate that. Jay Mohr in studio.
Yeah.
Jay Mohr's going to be at the Ice House coming up this Thursday, the beautifully remodeled Ice House in Pasadena, California. So go out and say hi. Jeannie, his beautiful bride-to-be, will be introducing Jay. And it is the Bus family now. Jeannie's brother owns the Ice House, correct?
Johnny does, yeah.
Nice guy. Met him last time I was there. Great crowd. Always the best. Always the most generous. Crazy.
I heard the room is bananas great, like a kill room. A buddy of mine just went, oh, it's a kill room.
It's a kill room.
It's a kill room.
I love comic shorthand.
Like the Laugh Factory in Hollywood. It's like, oh, it's ridiculous. It's just a kill room. It's just...
Yeah. I just got back from Naples, Florida, from Off the Hook.
Oh, no kidding.
And, so I did 5 shows. And the way they do it over there in Naples is they come get you about 2 minutes before it's time to go on. And you stand in this little sort of galleyway with a piece of duvetine between you and the audience so they can't see you. And the servers are walking in and out and in and out. And you stand sort of back out of the way because you don't want to be hit by the server with the plate. And the poster that's in the little galleyway is Jay Mohr. And there it sat. And I just found myself just staring at your face times 5 shows. So
Oh,
it was good.
a couple of swells. Captain Brian,
Yeah.
he took us fishing when I was there. And,
Oh, really?
He goes, you want to go fishing? I'm like, this is like at the height of Adderall addiction. I'm like, I love fishing.
Right.
Like, I'll be up. Don't worry about it. I'll be up at 3, 4 a.m. It's fine. And he takes me to a golf course where we hop a fence, throw the rods over.
Really?
He goes, trust me. I go, yeah, I'm just great. It's great.
Right.
I sound like Vince Vaughn. I'm like, this is great, baby. We're going to fish. Going to fish in the pond or a golf course. Going to hop the fence. What are we going to do? It's great. And alligators from here to Dawson.
Oh, yeah.
It's fantastic. Starts to pour rain. Neither one of us are going in. We're just bringing in bass, hoping alligators don't jump in and get them.
Wow.
And then went home, showered, and did that show and watched people eat.
Yeah, a lot of eating going on. Good food. So my travel odyssey, there's always an odyssey, but Naples is a hard place to get to.
Yeah.
And there's no direct flights out of LAX. It's just hard to get in and out. So this is a frequent mistake and a hole in my game. And I also have a hypothetical for you, which path would you choose in this particular case? But I don't really fully ingest the travel itinerary until the day before.
Same.
And part of it is one trust that these are the best flights. This makes the most sense. The people have checked into it. They've exhausted all resources, and this is what it is. So it's a kind of a, couldn't we get out of Burbank? No, there's nothing out of Burbank. You have to go LAX. I checked, and I trust that process. But this one was unusual in that flying out was pretty straightforward, although there's no nonstops out of LAX to whatever. I don't know. We got to figure out what the airport is that's closest to Naples, about a half hour away. But anyway, we had a 6 a.m. flight out of LAX.
Smart.
Which meant I set the alarm for 4. And, oh, God, I don't know. You guys tell me. Tell me if this is a backbreaker for you. I go to bed at midnight. That's it. That's when I go to bed. It's really hard to get me to go to bed at 10:30 or 9:45. I just pretty much go to bed at midnight. And if I have to get up at 4, I have to get up at 4. That'll be it. But I forgot the Uber was set up the night before. So the Uber was there to pick me up at 4:30.
Scheduled, yeah.
And then it was going to take a half hour to LAX, and I'd be there an hour before the 6 a.m. flight. The 6 a.m. flight flew to Houston. There was about a 55-minute layover in Houston, and then off to Naples. And then the airport's half hour out of Naples. I don't need every airport, Byron, that's close to Naples, whatever the big one is. Anyway.
There are 3 small ones. They're all called Naples.
Oh.
Naples Municipal Airport, Naples Airport, Naples NDB.
How far was the drive
No,
from the airport?
I know what Ace is saying. It's a different city airport.
It's not in Naples. It's a half hour out.
Okay.
And it's a big airport. So anyway, so I get up and I'm getting up at 4. I got the cars coming at 4:30. When I get up, I get the message. The car could be here as much as 10 minutes before the allotted time, which would mean 4:20.
Yeah.
That's a big 10 minutes at that particular juncture.
Yep.
The car pulls up at 4:18. It's the biggest 12 minutes on the planet, that 12 minutes. The difference between I'm getting up at 4 and I'm getting out of here at 4:30 versus the guys out there at 4:18 totally eliminates that 12 minutes where I sit down with a cup of coffee for just a minute.
Yeah.
Just the cushion. You've removed all the nap, all the cushion out of this schedule because 18, that's enough to get up, hit the shower, brush the teeth, get dressed, and hustle down to the street. That 18, the half hour builds in 10 minutes of cush.
Yeah.
So he's.
You know what that is? That's a treadmill 12
yes,
minutes.
Yes.
It's a big 12
That's
minutes.
a big 12 minutes.
Treadmill 12.
That's treadmill on an incline.
Yep.
That's what that 12 is. That's the biggest 12 minutes you'll ever lose is between 4:30 pickup and 4:18 pickup.
Wow.
And that guy's down there. And it's funny, like when you come down there, he has to verify you. It's dark. There's nobody else on the street. He does the, Adam? I go, who the fuck else would this be at this hour with a bag standing out front? So anyway.
And by the way, it's 4:18 for you. He's still on Vietnamese time.
That's right.
It's midnight and the club's rocking in his car.
That's right. So Southwest Florida International Airport. So
That's
this guy has,
Fort Myers, that's it.
this guy's taken the most precious 12 minutes on the planet and thrown them out the window. I don't, and the etiquette, I've said it a million times. If you schedule something for 4:30, just fucking show up. Just show up at 4:30. By the way, if you show up at 4:18, feel free to just pull around the corner and have a smoke and listen to little Steely Dan for 12 minutes and then just come back at that time. But anyway, he's not there 10 minutes. He's there 12 minutes. Anyway, jump in. See Chris D'Elia at the airport, who's heading somewhere other than Naples, but he's on my flight. Have a nice chat with him. Get in, do the shows. We've added a matinee on Saturday. The 4 shows, Friday, Saturday, sell out. Why not add a matinee? We're there. It's hard to get to. We'll get paid. And that show sells out too. So now we've got 5 sold out shows. Great. Everything's great. But August and I are studying the itinerary for the flight home because flying from LAX to Houston and having a 55-minute layover in Houston is at least on the way to Florida. The flight home is we leave at 6 a.m. on Sunday, and we go to Newark.
Oh, my God.
We take a 3-hour flight from Naples to Newark.
The opposite
We
way.
turn our back on all Los Angelinos, and we go full Willie Mays with a 410-foot fly ball hit to center field. We literally turn our back and run from home plate, Los Angeles, and try a basket catch. It is 3 hours to Newark and an hour and a half layover in Newark and 6 hours back to L.A. So I'm like, we're now 4.5, 5 hours from LA, but we're going to fly 3 hours, and so we can be 6 hours away from it. All in, it's 11.5-hour travel day. And I'm like, This is the best we could do. This is all we got. So I say, Mike, start fucking around with that phone. And Mike comes up with the idea. The cannonball run. Tell me if you'd be down. Tell me if you'd be down.
I love this.
He says, Tampa is about 2 hours and 15 minutes from Naples. There is a 6:30 a.m. flight out of Tampa. Direct. We can finish your third show on Saturday, go back to hotel, take like a 2-hour nap, get up, pack it up, head to Tampa. Now, I got to refuel the rental car, and we got to drop off the rental car and take the shuttle, and we got to check the merch bag. But if we can get to Tampa by 5 a.m., we're going to make a nonstop flight back to L.A. And I was like, I'm in, Mike.
There's no question here.
No question, not for me. But two different approaches between me and Mike.
Oh, Mike wanted the Nork?
Mike, no. Mike never went to bed.
Oh, yeah. No,
Mike said, I'm staying up all night.
That doesn't work for me.
He didn't announce that to me until we got in the car.
And I imagine he's the one that's driving to
He's
Tampa.
driving, and there's fog blowing. There's heavy fog, and Mike, I've never seen him really off his driving game, but he's off.
When Mike stays up all night, how can you tell?
That's a good point. And he won't drink coffee. So I said, Mike, I went to bed at 12:15. I set my alarm for 2 hours and 15 minutes, and I got 2 hours in, and then I woke up and packed, and he's like, that would ruin me. I'd be worse with that. I said, I don't know. Who would be worse with that? Who would go all night versus get the 2 hour nap in? By the way, I'm running off the 4-hour sleep cycle from Friday, but would you go to bed, Jay Mohr?
Yeah, I'm like you. I get the 2 hours.
Right.
Because I get up to pee anyway. Mm-hmm. So I just get up to pee and I stay up.
Yes.
Just get
I told everybody in the audience, slightly older Floridian crowd.
Slightly.
I said...
cast a cocoon out there. I want to talk to you about diabetes.
And oatmeal. I said every one of you guys is going to be up about 3:30, 3:45, 4:15, taking a piss tonight. I want you to think of me. I want you to think of me on Highway 15
You're on the
going
road.
to Tampa.
Yeah.
That's what I just honor me. While you're shaking your dick in front of your toilet, I want you to think of me at 3:45 when you're taking this piss.
Well, there's a couple there. The other hypothetical is people that would take the Newark to LAX, which is mine. But I'm to go all the way back because there's a lot to unpack here. I'm like you. I don't get into the flight itinerary till the night of or night before because you and I had this conversation on your movie. You were saying like, why are we comedians? We're comedians because we don't like to do one thing for a long time. We like to do. You said we want to do stand up over here. Then I'm gonna take 2 weeks off, and then I'm gonna write a book over here. Then I'm gonna do a little part in a movie over here. So we have to compartmentalize. Otherwise, we'll go bananas. We'll go fucking crazy if you're like, oh, then I got this, then I got this. Like, we just do what's next. Like, people go, when are you when you leaving for Jersey in 2 weeks? I'm like, bro, I'm fucking with Sunday. I got to fly home and do Carolla. That's all I got.
Right.
So I don't look at the itinerary. If I'm flying tomorrow, I don't look at it till like I'm done here and I go home. So I'm with you. It happens.
Yes.
But I did that cannonball run from, somewhere in Alabama, nowhere big. And instead of getting on the little plane and doing all that shit to Atlanta, we just drove to Atlanta.
How long was that run?
3 hours.
I will say this. It helps. There's nothing worse. You know, Mike August is a lot of things, but he's not a pussy. His dad was a football coach. He played football. He's not a pussy. He's up for fucking everything all the time, and so am I. Half the conversation on the way to Tampa was, aren't we glad neither one of us are pussies? Because I will fucking do anything. I will just go for anything at any time, and Mike just drove his ass off all the way.
Do you stay up with him the whole time?
Fuck yes. I think it's horrible etiquette to go, I'm going in the back seat and fucking stretching out. That's bullshit.
Plus,
we made the commitment.
That's the only time I'm like nervous in a car is when I'm sleeping and one of my buddies is driving. Because like every twerk of the wheel, I'm like, whoa, what's going on? What's that?
Right.
What's that? We're gonna do because it feels different when you're laying around in the back seat.
The something maybe for Jay. I was thinking about this. I went to, I was in Naples. I went to the Rev Car Museum where they have all these spectacular cars. I've been there before. Did a quick tour over there. On the way out, past a car called LaSalle. LaSalle was a car that was manufactured, I would guess, from the late 40s to the mid 50s or late 50s or something like that. It's an old-timey American car, the LaSalle. And I looked at the LaSalle and I said to August, I said, you know what sitcom the LaSalle is featured in the opening of by name? And he thought about it, and he thought about it, and he went, All in the Family. And I said, yes. The opening song, Boy the Way, well, you do Edith.
Chris, you do Edith.
Boy the Way Glenn Miller played songs that made the hit parade.
I'll do...
Guys like us, we had it made. Those were the days, and you knew who you were then. Goyles were Goyles and men were men. Mister, we could use a man like Herbert Hoover again. Didn't need no welfare state. Everybody pulled their weight. Gee, our old LaSalle ran great. See, when you're 8, you don't know what that is.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Mike was like, yeah, I've known that theme my whole time, but I never knew what they were saying when they said, gee, our old LaSalle ran great. So they're saying, old days, American stuff. But I then started thinking about it. We'll play the theme. But as I started thinking about it, listen to the words. And this song was written, All in the Family hit the air in 1971. This song is over 50 years old. There is a line where they go, and you knew where you stood then. Girls were girls and men were men.
Oh, boy.
That's 50-something years old and didn't need no welfare state. Everybody pulled their weight.
I gotta use the gender-neutral bathroom again.
All right, we'll play it. Someone should write a new version of this. Rich Banks, get on it. Go ahead. It was also kind of the beginning of the end because I went, when I was reading it, and I was like, I'll just go on Wikipedia and read what All in the Family was. And it was like racist buffoon Archie, deals. But Meathead was really the fucking problem in this equation because Meathead didn't fucking work. He just lived at Archie's house and sucked off of Archie's refrigerator and sucked off the rent and sucked. Meathead was in this case, Archie was the antagonist and Meathead was the protagonist, but Archie was the fucking guy who worked and kept the lights on and bought the food and paid the bills. And Meathead was the guy who was kicking around the junior college, going to protests and never finding a job and living there with his fucking ne'er-do-well hippie daughter rent-free. But we decided Meathead was the answer, not the guys who fucking pay taxes. This was the problem. And now,
take it easy.
And now we're there. Now we're there, Jay. We're home. We've made it. Now, Meathead got his way, and that's what California is.
Yeah, if you ask anybody, why can't this show be made today?
Right.
It's because of Archie.
Right. It's not because of fucking no-count Meathead who never had a job the entire 7-season run.
Right,
who was a 30-year-old adult who's living with this fucking... He's living with his wife at his parents' house. He's the loser in the equation, not the guy who bought the house and has a fucking job.
Wow. You just blew my mind.
It's true. It's Little Miss Sunshine. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that Archie bunker,
Oh, yeah, Norm.
But that the ne'er-do-well daughter, played by Sally Struthers.
I like the way you say ne'er-do-well,
Well,
Norm.
there's an apostrophe.
Oh, there is?
Yeah, N-E, apostrophe,
there's no
and
V.
What
ne'er-do-well.
would that sound like again?
Ne'er-do-well, the ne'er-do-well daughter.
If you say, Norm, ne'er-do-well 2 more times, I will not know what it means.
Well, it means not at all.
Uh-huh.
It's an abbreviation, you see. She had a big bush.
Sally Struthers?
Oh, yeah, it was the time.
Gloria had a big bush.
Yeah, I mean, everybody named Gloria has got a big bush.
That's a good
I got
point.
a theory
That's a good
about
point.
big bush. Gloria, anybody, Lisa with 2 E's. She's always going to be a big girl, you see.
Oh, Lisa's a big bush name.
Oh, no, she's a big girl.
Oh, big girl.
and,
Yeah, I
girl.
never met a skinny Bailey.
No,
I never
don't
met a girl
exist.
named Bailey that looked like she came from a bar class, you know? Always looked like she just came from a buffet in a bar.
Yeah, I never thought about that. She's probably right,
But
Norm.
Sally Struthers, notorious for giant bush.
Really?
I just made that up.
Byron, what years was the LaSalle Car Company in business and when they make their last car? But anyway, if it wants to be cleared up, they say LaSalle.
Yeah.
At the end.
Great.
You're speaking like this is a month-long argument on Reddit.
Yes.
He's finally cleared the air. He presents the problem.
I thought
Let's
boys
clear
were
this
boys,
up.
and girls were girls, and men were men. Like that was
Topical.
50 years old. All right.
Sometimes girls are men, you know. They have good daddy parts and good mommy parts.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Well, there you go.
LaSalle's General Motors division, which began in 1927 to fit between Buick and Cadillac. LaSalle enjoyed a 14-year run and a luxury position and then discontinued in 41. And it took Buick up until 1960 to pick up LaSalle name as a Buick model.
What does that mean to fit between Buick and Cadillac?
I guess it's like saying if Cadillac is the top of the heap in the luxury department and Buick is a little more businessman's, maybe we'll have a tier between the two.
Upper middle class.
Yeah, if one car's, the Cadillac's $15,000 and the Buick is $5,000, maybe we'll make a $10,000 car, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Whoa,
sounds like-
look at that.
yeah, they made them for a while. All right, let's. I got something to get into here that has been driving me nuts because the rain has been relentless in SoCal, and when the rain gets relentless, the fucking potholes come out. And I was driving home from LAX this morning down PCH and hit a fucking pothole that was knocked a filling loose. Like I thought I broke a suspension part on like a bung bung. Like I think to myself, if you hit this shit on a motorcycle, you're dead. You're dead if
But
you
you
fucking
flew in
hit
from
it.
Florida this morning?
Yeah.
So did I.
Oh, really?
Yeah, what about that?
Where'd you?
I was in Tampa.
Oh, really? I was in Tampa too.
I
know it
We're
sounds.
gonna need some flight numbers.
Tampa 2 is a John Gruden defensive
Omaha!
scheme, by the way. Tampa 2.
Banana Sluggo.
We drove into Tampa at 5 in the morning.
Bro, this is fucking crazy. I was in the airport at 6,
Really?
and I'm there with my sponsor, Cowboy Dan, who looks like he literally looks like Yosemite Sam, and he's one of these guys that he talks to everybody. How are you, dear?
I know.
And this old black guy gets out of a wheelchair with like 3 handlers with a U.S. polo jacket and a hat pulled low, and he sits. It's like 6 a.m. but it's still dark. Everyone's just like bleary-eyed and miserable. And Cowboy Dan goes, "How you doing, sir?" He goes, "Good, good." He goes, "Where are you going?" It's like we're literally sitting by the door of the gate.
Right.
He goes, "Where are you going?" I'm going to L.A. He goes, "Were you here for business or pleasure?" And he goes, "Business. What do you do for a living?" He goes, "I'm a singer." And he goes, "Have I ever heard of you?" And he goes, "I'm Johnny Mathis."
Wow.
Fucking Johnny Mathis. I'm writing. And I'm ignoring. I just learned to tune him out.
What? What?
And I hear. I'm like, he looked at him like, "I'm Johnny Mathis," and he goes, "Whoa, really?" And then I'm like elbowing him, like, "Leave the guy alone. He's a big shot." You know.
What are the chances are?
How did I see Johnny Mathis and not? If I saw you in the airport, that would have been amazing.
Oh, I mean, Mike.
Look at that guy.
Mike and I. What time is your flight out of Tampa?
8.
So ours was 6:30. So
He looks like he plays a sitar in
I
that
may have
picture.
just missed you. Yeah, he does look a little Indian.
Half black, half white, right?
I guess.
Black father, white mother.
Yeah, and
Like Jim Plunkett.
he's
Blind
a,
father, deaf mother.
Really?
Or vice versa.
Confirmed bachelor. You know, never had time to marry.
Well, he came out.
Oh, he did?
I just read an article where
Oh, really?
I was like, good for you.
Track star out of San Francisco as a youth. He's a crazy track star.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, we read up on him.
Love
once.
the baton.
Found out,
Yeah, it's the only guy who didn't reach for it. They just spit on it and turned it a little bit.
He reached for it.
No, he'd run in front.
Right.
They'd spit on it,
He's
just
the
turn
anchor.
it a little bit.
He's
Yeah, both hands
89
go.
and he looks fantastic.
It's
Dawson-
crazy.
Was it Dawson asked me? He's like, which one of you guys asked me? He said, Johnny Mathis flies commercial. Oh, I was on the phone with Jim Heck, that boy. Mm-hmm. He goes, Johnny Mathis flies commercial? I'm like, yeah. He sat right in front of me.
All right, so let's
I sat
see.
behind Stevie Wonder on a flight once.
Wait,
then-
did we take a break or not? Can't remember. I was going to
haven't.
do it. All right. With quick break. We're back with more.
What?
I got thoughts about potholes and Stevie Wonder right after this. Oh, you know I love O'Reilly. Always been a part of my life. Use them when I was starting out, working on my own trucks, and I use them now, rebuilding the race cars. It's O'Reilly. It's O Rewards bonus points month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Shop in store or online. Get points and rewards sent straight to your phone or your inbox. You can get 2, 3, or even 4 times the bonus points on select purchases. To get you to your next reward even faster, receive a $5 reward for every 150 O Rewards points. And if you're already an O Rewards member and not receiving the rewards, just add your email or mobile phone number and get a $10 reward just for updating your existing account. And you sign up. And it's quick and it's easy. Just go to O'ReillyAuto.com, O'ReillyAuto.com, or do it in a store. That's an O'Reilly store.
As we celebrate 14 years of podcasting, here's another memorable moment from the Adam Carolla Show's Ace Awards archives.
Let's just say the cast from The Irishman is pulling into a McDonald's drive-thru and they're all going to order.
I think it might go a little something like this.
Let me have 2 cheeseburgers, but I don't want any lettuce on those cheeseburgers.
Tell him I want a milkshake. Strawberry.
Just tell them I want my apple pie. A Bill Buffalino. No, that's how they fuck you. That's my line from the other fucking movie. That's how they fuck you. They didn't give you the place. They never give you napkins in this place. What am I supposed to wipe my hands with? The bag?
One apple pie, extra napkins?
Look, guy in the box, I don't know what you think you know. But this is Harvey Keitel, Angelo Bruno from The Irishman. Get the goddamn order right! And don't call me a fucking rat!
Now, for some new memorable moments, let's get back to the Adam Carolla Show.
Jay Mohr in the studio, both out of Tampa this morning.
I got to tell you something. I have zero memory of that.
Oh, because those are your Adderall years?
I guess. Like, how long ago was that? Pre-Irishman.
When the Irishman
No, I
came
don't know if it was pre-Irish.
It was like right when it came out. Yeah.
Well, good. You've got a lot to enjoy on the internet, Jay,
Wow.
since you're clean and sober now. All right, potholes.
Yeah.
So I'm driving down PCH
Hold
and
on,
I
let me turn my chair. This is a hot take.
almost blow a tire out. There's fucking PCH is a mess, and there's just potholes everywhere, and everything's just a crumbling mess. And of course, Los Angeles fuel prices are the most in the country, and we have the most, we spend the most on it, but it's still, everything's just a shit show. It's like the more you spend, the worse everything gets, and the more they tax, the less we get.
We were voted worst roads.
Worst
the
roads,
country.
even though we pay the most in
Yeah.
gas and taxes. We have the highest, I think the highest state tax, or if not the highest, second, it's 14 and 13.7 or whatever the fuck it is. And we have the worst roads. So what is it? And the worst schools. Like, what is this? Where's this line between taking money from us and then it going into something and improving our lives? But I thought asphalt, and that's what they do is they patch these potholes with asphalt. Asphalt is 200 billion years old. It's basically tar and aggregate. I mean, it's like the La Brea tar pit's just a pile of asphalt with a fucking styrofoam elephant stuck into it. It's like, what are we using this stuff from eras? I mean, before there was life on planet Earth, there was asphalt. And it doesn't seem to work very well. Like they have to heat it up, they slap it in, they tamp it down with the flat part of a flat shovel. They have to close everything off. It seems like expensive. It seems time consuming. It doesn't seem durable.
You have to wait for it to harden.
You have to wait for it to harden. It dips down when cars run over it. And I thought, what fucking year is it? Like, it's 2023. Can we? So our system for fixing a pothole is a truck pulls up, a bunch of flags and cones come out, 5 Mexicans get out of a truck and start heating up something from 2 million years ago that they can shovel into the divot. How did they fix roads when the LaSalle dominated the American auto market in 1949? How did they fix the roads? How did they fix the potholes? The exact same way. There's just been no movement. There's a hole. We fill it with the same shit that didn't work the first time. That's why we have a fucking hole. And that's it. We moved on. And there's like a kettle and it's burning asphalt and God knows what it's doing to the ozone layer. All this heating lungs and they're tamping it down. And it's guys with shovels and a bucket of fucking shit from the Mesozoic era.
They might as well be cavemen. Yeah.
What are we doing? And then I said, there's so many innovations, especially when it comes to building, and there's got to be some sort of polymer, some sort of 2-part catalyst, resin, a rubberized where epoxy-based something. Like, we've done so much in that department, like with waterproofing and shit like that. And then I just called Chris as I was driving through potholes on the way here, and I said, what do they do in Japan or Germany? Because there's no fucking way they're engaging in this folly in smart places. Japan and Germany must have a different way of dealing with these potholes. Now, I'm picturing a truck with like a giant caulking gun mounted on the back and a resin that just goes into the hole, just blow it out with compressed air and just boom, sets up in 5 minutes, rubberized, done. I think we could do that. Like, I don't get why we don't do that. But Chris, I haven't seen it. Chris said he went online and found Japan.
So I went online. There's a lot of people who ask this, like, why are the roads in Japan so nice? And especially people who are from the U.S. It's very noticeable how nice these roads are.
Well, it's because the cars are so much lighter. Because your average Japanese guy only weighs about 105. So you get these big fat Americans, Lisa with 2 E's, and Bailey. They eat up the road, you see, with the big fat asses.
See, we don't even need to watch the video.
They don't know that.
I digress.
Okay, so I looked it up, and there's this video of how they repair roads in Tokyo. And it's not even just the material they're using, Adam, but watch the process of what they do when they're going to pothole. Because if there's a pothole in L.A., how long does it even take to fill, if it gets filled at all?
I don't know that they ever fill it. What ends up happening, at some point, like the business owners in the neighborhood who've popped 7 tires on the pothole get fed up and they go, we're going to do the pothole. And then the city arrests them. That's our solution.
Well, or remember there was like somebody who would you would spray paint a penis on it or like do something that degrades it. So you have to fill it up. You have to call attention to it.
All right, let's see how the Japanese do it.
Here's Japan. So this is Tokyo.
On this day,
I believe Chris said
others,
penis.
A vehicle's been dispatched with special duties. Known as an infrastructure patrol car, it's dedicated to maintenance work.
Planetary.
So it's a patrol
With
car.
eyes intently scanning the surroundings, inspectors riding in the car make a discovery.
So they look.
One of them pushes a button in front of him.
All right, to find the pothole.
Sonar.
Yeah, and there's a camera on top of the car.
It activates an onboard camera that sends images to a base near Hakozaki Junction.
Whoa.
Oh, man.
Yeah. It's all.
Hakozaki Junction.
So the base sees the pothole
They
picture.
confirm the dark shadow. It's a hole with the highest danger rating.
Aha.
A repair team is immediately dispatched.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Black boots, white socks. I don't think so, pal.
The hole is located at a convergence point near Ikebukuro. About 40 centimeters long and 8 deep. It has rebar exposed inside.
Uh-oh. Backbreaker. and a cigarette.
The repair team fills the hole with asphalt.
Wow. Tamp it down.
They work around the traffic as much as possible. Cars speed by right next to them. The repairs completed in less than 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Well, what was that thing they put on top of the asphalt?
They put a piece of like what would be like wax paper type stuff so that you wouldn't stick to it until it cures. I'm guessing is what they it's not wax paper, but it's something that won't stick to it or may stick to it, but your tire's not going to pull it up until it cures.
They put linoleum down to break dance.
Oh, they are Tracy. Oh,
yeah, they got the reflective pants on.
Street show.
Sorry for showing you this whole road
women
thing.
all day in Japan in Hakuzaka territory.
Where's that?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess they use asphalt.
They use asphalt, but look, it's faster. It's less than 10 minutes, and a guy just drives by and reports it right away. So that's why you don't see as many potholes, because they just take care of it as soon as
That's
they see
Ishiro
it.
Suzuki.
Who?
Ishiro Suzuki.
The baseball player?
Shigetoshi Hasegawa.
Tracy, those are baseball
He's
players.
a middle reliever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ran it up there at 88, goddammit.
You thinking about getting another saltwater fish tank for your house?
Yeah, I'm going to get one. Fill it with all freshwater fish and watch them die.
Oh, you're getting a saltwater tank?
Yeah.
And you're putting freshwater fish in it?
Absolutely.
That's not going to work.
No, I don't want it to work because I got a new business, goddammit. I'm the undertaker for dead freshwater fish and saltwater tanks.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I got my eyeliner on because crippled pussy stay wet.
What?
Yeah, that's why I got these wheelchair gloves.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Guaranteed.
So you're going to be the undertaker
For freshwater fish that died in salt water.
That's got to happen a lot.
It's got to happen a lot, goddammit.
People go out, they get a fish they like, they put it in the tank, they don't know it's salt water, and the fish dies.
Yeah.
Happens all the time.
Yeah, perch.
Bonita.
Applebaum, you got to put me on.
Is perch... You ever go noodling?
Yeah, I noodle every night.
No, I mean catfish.
I like discharge.
No, I'm saying like
I
catfish
like the
noodling.
Oh, yeah, catfish.
Yeah.
Yeah, South Carolina noodling.
Yeah, just go.
I put my hand in the hole. They call it fisting in the bump.
Fisting in the bump?
That's what they call it.
Really?
You are my father.
No.
Yeah,
No.
Maury Povich told me.
No way.
Cripple pussy.
Cripple pussy?
Stay wet, goddammit.
All right.
That's why I got these wheelchair gloves.
For the noodling, too.
Yeah, finger fucking Portuguese girls on the handball courts. You remember, you got down. Adam Carolla is old school, goddammit. He wear the headband when he's making love. Yeah,
That's old
checking
school.
himself out like Bill Walton in the mirror.
All right. Let's see. We got.
I want to hear about Stevie Wonder.
Oh, Stevie Wonder. That's right. Sat behind you in an airplane.
It just...
Or you sat behind him.
I sat behind him, and it just was like air travel for a blind person. It's got to be the biggest mind fuck of all time because you have to take everybody's word for it. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, Stevie, welcome to Sydney, and he's
Promise we're here.
Yeah.
he's at like Wilkes-Barre Regional Airport. Like, what do you think, Stevie?
Yeah.
Just sat there.
Where were you?
He doesn't read.
Where were you?
He's not watching movies.
No.
He just fucking sits there and looks. He's like Putty from Seinfeld. Just stares straight ahead.
Yeah, me and August tried to watch a movie on the way out, and they don't have earbuds, but they have, earphones or whatever. But Mike said, oh, no, you do this thing where you adapt your earbuds, you program them so you can hear the movie with your earbuds. I'm out. And I said, that's never going to work, Mike. And he goes, sure, it'll work. It's easy. That's what I do all the time. And
I need a Mike August in my life.
I said,
let him finish his story
first. Mike, it's never going to work. And he said, oh, yeah, I'll make it work. And he takes my phone and he goes to the ear settings, turns the thing off and then read whatever. And 20 minutes later, he hands me the phone back. He goes, it's not going to work. But his work. So I don't know. Tell me if this is.
Well, he's listening to a baby monitor in Fort Myers.
Right. Tell me if this is gay, Tracy Morgan.
Yeah. Homosexuality with Johnny Mathis.
I take one of his earbuds and put it in my ear. So now we're sort of Eskimo earbud brothers. here, and now we can watch the movie, but only if I got one of his earbuds because he can't sync my earbuds up.
If they're wireless, then I think it's fine.
It's gay if there's wires on it, Tracy.
Oh, I don't give. I don't give a fuck about sharing stuff like that.
No.
Who cares?
Yeah, just
you put a seat between you and your buddy at the movies.
Oh, well,
As Ray Romano used to say, this is the I'm not a homo seat right there.
No, because the seats are 4 feet wide now and have recline and if you took the seat, like I grew up in North Hollywood, we had the Guild Theater, we had the El Portal Theater, we had the Lorena Theater. The average seat was 14, 15 inches wide and pushed up against the other one. It had about 3 inches worth of space, maybe 2 inches between the seats. If you took that and put an empty center seat between you, you would still be further apart in today's luxury movie theater sitting next to someone. Your ass, if they threw a tape measure on the center of your asshole.
Okay. That's where I measure from, so. Of
course.
Well, that's how.
To get the 5.
You know how you measure the dick, right?
Yeah, from my asshole to get the
center of the ass.
To get the 5.
You do a string. Piece of yarn. Center of the ass.
Yarn.
Once around the balls to just past the tip. You lay that out.
Just past the tip.
But don't get greedy.
Like leading the receiver.
Yeah, you lead them just past the tip. And then you lay that down on a yardstick, and that's the way you measure your hog.
Noted.
So the way you measure movie seats is...
I'm stopping at Ant's Fabrics on the way. I'm fucking it up.
Adam has plenty of yarn you can borrow, I'm sure.
Center of the anus.
What if we put the yarn in both of our ears? Is that gay? After we measure our dicks.
Did I ever... I mean, I haven't told it in a million years, but when I was doing Kevin and Bean a million years ago... Jenna Jameson was going to come on the show, the morning show, K-Rock.
Yeah.
And I'm more saying that for people who are listening out of state.
I realized that after I left.
They had this thing where it's like Mr. Burcham, he can come in and he can put like the tool guy, he could put like a feather duster on a cordless drill and like tickle her titties. And he could take a piece of, I'm coming up with this stuff, piece of felt or a piece of velour or something and put it on a pad sander and massage your back, erotically or whatever. And I was like, yeah, okay, I think come up with a funny bit for this. So I go over to Joanna's Fabrics or whatever the place is, and I like walk up to the counter and like, I just need a piece of duvetine or velvet, like a piece of velvet, like I don't know, black or red, like 1 foot by 1 foot, and maybe like something with feathers in it or something. And the chick's like, yeah? What are you up to? And I'm like, I'm making stuff, And she's like, yeah, really? Like what? And I'm like, all right, I'm assaulting a porn star with power tools. But she was fucking on to me. Like she didn't even pretend to go along with
I work for Sesame Street. The count needs a new cape.
That's right. So what the fuck were we talking about?
That was a lot.
Oh, all right.
More G-rated than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
When you said like belt sander and a dust buster, I thought it was because anything fits in your ass if you're sad enough.
Yeah, ask Johnny Mathis.
That's the message.
So
today.
The way you measure the movie seat occupant, center of the anus, across to the center of the anus of the person sitting next to you. Oh, right. And I would say in 1975, even with an open seat, the anuses were closer to each other than they are now with no open seat and the big wide seating. How say you, Jay Mohr?
I agree with Adam Carolla.
Yeah,
okay.
me too.
That's my stance 99% of the time. Mm-hmm. You tell me who to vote for, I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
When you sit next to August on the plane, do you keep the armrest down or you put it up?
I don't know. We usually leave it down or up. Like, we don't really care. Mike brings us snacks, set it in the middle. Mike passed out the whole trip. This way on the way back. He never slept. So he was going to sleep for the first time at 7 a.m, basically. So he just conked out.
Good for him.
We were in first class, and I was tired of shit too. But this is free food on a first class flight that I'm not taking a pass on.
Right.
So I got the free food. I got a drink. I'm like, this is first class.
Are there
I'm not
any
just
more
going to bed.
frittatas?
Yeah. Somehow, there are probably more frittatas consumed in the air than there are on the ground.
when I was in rehab, we had a chef, and he made us quiche one day. And I remember this gangbanger threw his in the trash. He goes, "This is more like a frittata, man." I was like, "Wow." A week ago, you were wiping your ass with a Burger King wrapper behind a dumpster. Now you're Gordon Ramsay. He was disgusted. "This is more like a frittata, man." Orale. How come there's not more Mexican ghosts? Because Mexican guys kind of talk like they're trying to hunt something. They're all like, "Hey, you fucked up on me." Yeah,
Orale, puto se chinga madre, cabrón. You, maybe I should try some of my mijos on you, but...
And there's no gay ghosts.
You know what's weird?
Gay people die.
I've said that all the time. They do that thing where it's the little girl from the Elizabethan era, and she's lost her dolly, and she wanders the halls. That's not intimidating. A ghost of a gay longshoreman in your house. That's fucking intimidating. I sleep on my stomach, you know. That's an issue.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the little girl who's lost her dolly, you know, dressed up in period garb. Why is that?
When Rob Halford dies.
Right. When Rob Halford dies and he shows up at your house or in
Whoa! Be scared. Whoa! Hey, that's a gay ghost, cabrón. Whoa!
No, you're right, because the Mexican culture is obsessed with death.
Yeah.
They have skeletons everywhere. They sell like marionettes of skeletons.
Yeah.
They're all dead.
There's a
they
whole
have
day dedicated.
days
You ever
of
go to
the
a
death.
Catholic church in Mexico? The Jesus on the cross looks like he just got murdered and screamed.
Right.
He's just fucking oozing blood from every hole in his
They're
body.
really graphic depictions of death, and they're obsessed with
Jesus
death.
looks like he was in Saw.
Yeah. So he's missing fingers. Like, why aren't there more Mexican ghosts?
Hey! Orale, way! Oh, you fucked up on me. Those ghost shows. What's the one where the guy's like, he looks like Dane Cook and he locks himself in like a mental institution overnight and he yells at the ghost, "What are you doing, ghost? Do you not want us here?"
Yeah, I don't know.
And then their proof, like I've had a ghost experience. I believe in ghosts, but their proof is always fucking garbage. It's like you can clearly hear from the recording that we picked up, the ghost explicitly tells us to hang ourselves from the weeping willow tree. Listen carefully. Weep.
Right, right.
Then they slow it down. Weep.
Right. And at some point, they have a device. And the device is a Heath kit for a digital clock from 1977 that they've modified. And they go into the room and they start moving around. It's like
rabbit ears.
And all of a sudden it's like tick, 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 tick. Oh, whoa, there's activity. There's activity. Tick, 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 tick. But based on what? This thing's not a metal detector. It's not a Geiger counter. It's a thing that you made in your mom's basement that makes noises when it feels energy, except for nobody signed off on this thing. It has not been certified.
It's like horny goat weed.
Right.
It's got the asterisk next to all of its claims.
Ghost Adventures is what
I like paranormal caught on camera when you just see like an old abandoned like kids hospital and you see a ball roll across a hallway at 3 in the morning. Like that's cool.
Yeah. But again, gay longshoremen.
Whoa! Be scared.
Get
out, queen.
Gay longshoremen died manning a glory hole.
Breaking the law. Breaking the law.
And now he's come back to seek vengeance.
He
died manning a glory hole.
How?
I don't know anything about glory hole. What do I? Am I the ambassador for the gay community? I don't know anything about those people.
You watch porn.
Yeah. There's infections that could set in. There's structural issues with gay. Look, a lot of those glory holes aren't up to code. They've not been inspected.
Well, don't ruin it for me.
I'm just saying there's a lot that could go wrong. There's structural fatigue. Catastrophic failure. There's a lot of ways you can buy it. Manning a glory hole, Jay.
What in your freakiest, take like the 2 years of your life where you were the most sexually freaky ever? Because we all know like a glory hole, it's just a bunch of dudes. What percentage, 50-50, like a 50% chance, there's a hot girl on the other side of that glory hole. What's the percentage for Adam Carolla? No one knows you were ever there. Where you put your cock through the glory hole? What percentage that there might be like a playmate on the other end that just can't stop chugging cock?
All right, well, I got questions first.
Yes.
Is the glory hole in 3/4 inch ply, 1/2 inch ply, 3/8 ply?
3/8 ply.
Okay, well, that's good.
And there's there's like foam around the hole, like at the top of a water slide. Mm-hmm. You know, like so it's slick. So you're not going to cut yourself. So what's the percentage? If I told you, okay, the guy that owns the adult bookstore goes, Ace, you might want to go back to those movie booths because there's a glory hole in number 4, and there's a blank % chance that your dream woman is on the other side. No one will ever know you were here.
I didn't play fast and loose back then, even if I was in my prime.
Like, who's your ideal?
Who's my ideal woman? I would say Adrienne Barbeau when she was 23.
Perfect.
Circa Mod.
Adrienne Barbeau, there's a blank % chance she's on the other side. The other %, bunch of longshoremen, bunch of electricians.
Redford guys, yeah.
Bunch of guys.
Oh, that's how the guy died.
Yeah.
I was.
I'm not, forget how you were. I'm asking you, what is the percentage?
That I would do that?
Yeah.
Like a 10% chance.
Yeah.
Low. But I got a better percentage chance for you.
Wait,
Or
10% chance that she's there?
Oh, if there's a 10%, if there's a 10% chance she's there, I'm not doing it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, Adrienne Barbeau is pretty hot.
I mean, you're getting blown either way.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah, you're right.
You're pressing your belly up against a plywood wall.
Yeah.
Gish. Maybe she's on the other side, but maybe it's Jeff.
Find a picture of Avril Lavigne and Admiral Lavigne. This is the bigger question for you, Jay Mohr.
All right.
Would you spin the wheel between Avril Lavigne, hot, and Admiral Lavigne?
Avril Lavigne?
You're going to have to...
Canadian hottie.
This is pre-engaged.
You know who Admiral...
Yeah, of course, pre-engaged.
Admiral is?
Admiral?
There's Avra.
This is...
Avril.
Avril. This is brand new for me.
Avril and Admiral Lavigne. It's going to take a second. One of the guys is heading up... what's he the head of? Like social health and, well, whatever.
Admiral, it's a real guy?
He's a Biden...
Whoa! That looks like Janet Reno.
He started off as a real guy, but he's a real gal now.
Okay, so yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he looks
Assistant
like.
Secretary for Health.
Right. So you got a wheel.
Maybe she can clean up those glory holes.
You got Avril and you got Admiral. You spin that wheel?
And what's the...
A lot of sex.
It's 50-50?
A lot of hard sex.
I love
Would you
him.
do a 50-50 spin, or do we got to mess around with the Mason-Dixon line a little bit?
I'm going to be like Price is Right to you. 9%. Go one less than you. No, just sex straight up?
Straight up.
I don't know, dude. That's a tough hustle.
Well, I can negotiate.
Why does Avril have to be involved at all? Anyway, gang.
Would you spin it at 50-50?
No.
No.
That's because
Do you need 60-40?
Because Admiral without the clothes probably looks like a bag of onions.
Do you need a 60-40 split?
If it's sex, like we meet in a room and we get undressed and we go, like it's a whole thing, right?
It's traditional sex as we know it.
I can't.
How about a 70-30 split?
Yeah, you're on.
70-30?
Let's get it on.
All right, let's do it.
20 original songs, 20 original artists. Get it on.
All right, we got the March Madness. I think we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll do that. We'll do some news with Jay Mohr right after this. All right, let me tell you about Jordan Harbinger, a different kind of sponsor for this podcast, the Jordan Harbinger Show. It's, if you're a fan of fascinating podcasts with interesting people, you should definitely check it out. There's an episode for everyone, no matter what you're into. Jordan talks with Scott Adams about persuasion in a world where facts don't matter, or go inside the dark world of wildlife trafficking. You'll always find something useful, and you can apply it to your own life, like routine changes to boost productivity, or slight mindset tweaks that change how you see the world. Jordan's an interesting dude. Spoken to him on many occasions. We enjoy his show, and I think you will too. Search it out. The Jordan Harbinger Show. That's Harb as in boy, IN as in Nancy, GER. And you can find Jordan's show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to finer podcasts. It's the Jordan Harbinger Show.
It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Adam, it's Scott from Raleigh, North Carolina, and I've got two more names for your football team. This pair's coming out of the University of Ohio, and the star kicker's name is Rich Whitey, and his ace long snapper, Ash Brown. Get it on.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
There's got to be guys out there named Rich Whitey. I mean, or at least Rich White. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Jay Mohr in studio. Jay's going to be at the Ice House.
Yeah.
Jay's stand-up is phenomenal if people want to go out.
Everybody gets pregnant. Laker girls are going to be there ripping tickets.
And enjoy the shit out of Jay Mohr out there. That'll be this Thursday as you hear this. Now, we're talking about doing March Madness, and we're talking about a Dick Vitale. Do you do Dick Vitale?
I'll lose my voice,
okay.
but I believe the gentlemen have a clip for you of me doing Dick Vitale March Madness on SNL, Oscar March Madness, where he gets confused.
Oh, really? From what year?
93.
93.
Been in the game a long time, Ace. This guy make your shoes look like fucking mirrors. Been away a long time.
93. Wow.
It's unbelievable, baby. Wow, that's Kevin.
Kevin Nealon.
Good basketball player.
A sweet guy.
Named his son Gable.
Wow.
Yeah, my blood pressure was like 200 over 100.
Did you write that whole thing?
Steve Lookner and me wrote it.
And is it all on cue cards back then?
Yeah.
Are they all on cue cards now?
Everything's on cue cards.
They never got to a prompter.
I don't think so.
It's kind of weird at this day and age.
Old school,
it's
yeah.
all old school. It's kind of a rhythm.
Yeah.
You know, it's like filling potholes with asphalt. It's just old school.
Can't change.
The key is to never look away from the cue card. The moment you go from cue card to lens back to cue card, you look like an idiot. So like because you'll do like a sketch, they'll break it up where you're interviewing me, but my cue cards are over here. But when they cut away to me, it just looks like I'm talking to you. If I go like this, I'm dead.
It's so obvious, yeah. When so many people do it,
especially those because they're right under the camera. So if you start going like this,
so just lock in.
Yeah, you just got to stare at them.
You break it, and you won't re-find where you were.
But you find where you were, but your eye line keeps going back and forth from lens to camera, lens to cue card.
It's like the boom mic just dipping in the frame. It takes you out of it.
For me,
so negative, Chris?
I'm just a shit reader. Like if I break off, I won't be able to find where I was.
You need like a giant yardstick to go under the line as you read.
I am such a shitty reader. I was. I'm a better reader now because of practice a lot.
You just got to read something you love reading.
I still fuck that up, but. It's so weird that I got paired with Jimmy Kimmel, who is the best reader. He's the best reader of cue cards or prompters, or it's a non-issue for him. It's a zero issue.
It just makes you look even worse.
Prompter's hard because you're relying on a guy in the back, like 400 feet away from you. Talk about straightaway center field behind a curtain. No, and if you get lost, he just tries to find where you were. That's why you go over it like 1,000 times.
Yeah, there's things that can be worse than being a bad cue card reader and being a bad prompter reader and having a sweaty forehead, which are all things that are bad, in show business. But what makes it worse is if you hook up with people. My partner was Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel. I would sit in my dressing room with my pile of cue cards for the monologue, and I would just read it over and over again. Jimmy I always remember this, like starting season 2 or something. We were just backstage about to walk through the door, like they started the music and everything. Jimmy's cue cards were in blue and mine were in black, so we didn't read each other's cue cards. But I was just sitting with my black cue cards in my dressing room for an hour before the show, just reading it over. I couldn't fuck it up, dragging my finger and shit like that. And we're sitting behind the band fires up and the announcer's talking. We're about to open the door and walk through onto the set. And Jimmy just looks at me and he goes, "Which color are my cue cards again?"
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I could say blue and you do them, or I could say black and you do mine and you do them better than me. And I've sat back looking at mine over and over again. That was Jimmy in the reading department. Then I was sweaty. I had a sweaty head. I was a head, lights, head sweater. My other partner, Dr. Drew, has never sweat. He's one of those weird dudes who doesn't sweat like Prince Charles or whoever that is. You could sit in that studio all day. The lights could be on your forehead. The audience, it gets swampy. They have to shut the air off when you tape every time. It's always like, we're taping, boom. You can hear it. It's 105 degrees outside. The air's now off. There's 175 people packed in a small place. You're sitting in front of the lights, and they kill the air because no one has invented a sound stage where you can run the air and actually film. And when it's 1 billion degrees outside, and sometimes they kill the air and they forget to turn it back on. And so even during the cut and the downtime, it's still, I'm the one who's yelling from, say, turn the fucking air back on. My forehead's dripping. Drew's just sitting there bone dry, which then makes me look like an asshole or drug addict, because if he's sweating and I'm sweating, that's fine. And if Jimmy can't get through the cue cards and I can't get through the cue cards, then that's fine. The only thing worse is when somebody's just fucking nailing it, and it's like they just did the Rubik's Cube with their ass cheeks and crapped it out onto the desk in 10 seconds, and you're like struggling with yours. Like you're on the ground on your back like a dolphin.
You can't get it out of the box.
You can't get it out of the box. Yes, that was my lot in life.
Well, Jay is really good at reading cue cards.
I know.
It looks like
you worked with some really great people. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, you don't like it?
No, it's good.
You want to work with mopes?
I just wish I wish Drew sweat a little bit, and I wish Jimmy had a little bit of difficulty. Just like a dusting of some syndrome that made it difficult for him to read out loud.
Shit your pants once in a while on.
Yeah.
Oh, they had that giant tube for the air conditioning.
Yeah.
If it's not a regular soundstage, they got to pipe it into that giant.
Yeah, that's right.
Quiet it down,
romper room tube.
Yeah, that's when they're bringing in auxiliary air.
Yeah.
But when they shut the air, it literally just
that's crazy.
Ka-chunk.
Yeah.
Like when we did Celebrity Apprentice, you'd sit in that fucking boardroom, had all the lights, you get hotter than shit, but they could never run the air. You're just sitting there in a fucking
sound guys
suit.
are fucking maniacs anyway. It's like, there's a refrigerator running like on the next floor.
Right.
You can hear it.
Yeah.
Right.
Hold for plane. Coming.
Yeah.
Well, planes, I understand.
But also, what's the conceit? Like, you'll be filming a scene outside sometimes, and then you're standing there, and the sound guy's always like, hold, I can hear a dog somewhere. It's like, well, sometimes when you're outside and you're talking, there's
right,
shit.
but when you
edit it.
Yeah, it's all the editing.
Let me explain show business to you.
Thank you.
Speaking of explain show business,
like this.
So you wrote Gasping for Airtime in 2004.
Okay.
And you did a lot. You told a lot of stories about some of your past SNL members, and I know some of them even got mad at you for writing about them, or they were upset about it. Like, do you still feel any of the ramifications from writing that?
No, I think time healed wounds on that. Like Rob Schneider was like, you made me a fucking asshole in your book, man. I was like, it should have been nicer. But I think the saving grace is that I made myself the villain. Because I was such a drunk and I was just a fucking crybaby and complaining all the time. And if I did it all over again, I would have done, like Jim Downey told me, I'm like, I'm not in any sketches. He goes, well, you do impressions. You should go to the guy's office and do impressions for him. And I thought it was like humiliating, like a door-to-door salesman, like, hey, watch this, guys.
Right.
But that's exactly what I should have done. They don't know.
Right. Well, how old were you when you got on?
21, 22, 23.
Whoa. That is really young in comedy years.
Yeah, man.
You don't know what the fuck you're doing when you're 22.
I think that's the benefit of hiring young guys. You're like, it's like having a 19-year-old pitcher in the World Series. You're too young and full of fucking piss and cum and vinegar to know to be freaked out. You're like, yeah, let's go.
Let's just do it.
Let's do it. I'm in the World Series. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Then you get to our age, you're like, there's going to be traffic on the way there.
I'm really all right. Should we do a little March Madness? I don't know if you want to assist Jay, if you want to Dick Vitale.
I want Coach Tony Bennett.
Oh my gosh, yeah. March Madness is upon us.
Time.
I'm healthy as a horse, baby.
It's time again for the big rants of March Madness. Today we start the Irate 8, but first a recap of the last round of the Bittersweet 16. Student loan forgiveness was unforgiving when they committed a hate crime against Biden's cabinet diversity, booting them from the brackets. And woke car commercials were powered by love into the next round of the tournament after foreclosing on selling Sunset. First up, to see who takes the California Conference crown, it's Gavin Newsom versus Freeway Weeds and Trash. Gavin Newsom.
Oh, God. I just threw up in my mouth when Dawson said Gavin Newsom. I've really not hated anyone more. And there's Manson family members that I don't hate as much as Gavin Newsom because Gavin Newsom is insincere. He's a fucking pompous liar. And he has the audacity to say, come to California and be free. First off, I just got back from Florida. Everyone is from somewhere else. I've seen more out-of-town plates in that city, in that state, than anywhere else because we are fleeing the hellhole that you created. And I also like the fact that everyone forgets about the fact that he fucked his partner's wife. Fucked his partner's wife, but he's the most progressive fucking guy in the world, and we're free to love, and we're free to fucking slick our hair back. We have the worst fucking roads. We have the worst fucking schools. We have a huge deficit now. I don't know what the fuck is going on with Gavin Newsom. And there's a part of me that hopes he runs for president so he leaves California alone. But this is like saying we got to get the guy who's down in the boiler room and fucking up the engine room up into the captain's nest so he can steer the ship into the fucking rocky shoals. Woo! Woo!
Freeway Weeds and Trash.
Look, we just had torrential rains, and torrential rains bring huge, crazed weeds. And I don't mean weeds like in your front yard weeds. I mean big, thick, stock, mega weeds. Maybe we got a situation. If you drive around California, you drive around Los Angeles, you'll see these huge, just pushing up, cracking the asphalt, making their way to the sun. This is Jack and the Beanstalk shit. Maybe there's a new breed of weed. Maybe the fucking Roundup has been used too liberally. We have a new strain of weeds that is a super weed. They grow 3 feet a day when it's fucking raining. We need to fucking pull these things. They are destroying the asphalt. And what we need is to bring back the fucking chain gangs. We have to bring back chain gangs. Let them fucking hang out by the side of the fucking road and do something. Why are we feeding them? Why are we bathing them? Why are we giving them 3 hots and a cot? Bring back the fucking chain gang. Walk around. Listen, if you ever go to a porta potty, that's bad. If you go to a porta potty and it has wheels on it and is being towed by a Ford F-150, you'll fucking hit rock bottom. But
whenever you talk about politics, you isolate half of your audience.
Larry Merchant.
But when Adam Carolla talks about super weeds, rain, and then he brings in the incarcerated, this is a clear-cut knockout for super weeds.
All right, super weeds.
I thought that would be funnier. I apologize.
Yeah. All right. I'm with it.
Super weeds got me fired up.
All right, Freeway Weeds and Trash.
I think it's this fucking awesome USA versus the Russians doing curls in a fucking lab somewhere music. I love that shit.
Yeah, I know. It's good.
Now, let's see who's on top of the class in the Classics Conference. It's Click It or Ticket versus Backup Beepers. Click it or ticket.
a network of multi-million-dollar freeway signs, and there's nothing on those freeway signs except for the thing your car's already told you to do the second you started it up over and over again. So completely 100% useless. We should be putting things up there like don't blame your parents or floss. That's my number one, Jay. Just imagine if every single one of those signs just said floss. Imagine the gum disease and the gingivitis and how it would be so impactful to those. Inflate your fucking tires. Anything. Clean your windshield. Use your turn signal. Use your fucking turn signal. Turn right on a red after you come to
your
full
prostate.
stop. Check your fucking prostate.
Oh, yes.
That's right. Don't take it out on your kids. And the only alternative they have is buzz driving is drunk driving. I disagree. I have always said, if you make buzz driving drunk driving, then you make sober driving buzz driving, and we're all fucked up now. So, click it or ticket, 100% antiquated, unusable. Put some fucking creative shit up there, or just sell the entire system to Pepsi or Coke, and let's fucking get paid.
Woo! Tough to beat. Tough to beat.
Backup beepers.
All right, I've been thinking long and hard about this. First things first, I think the backup beeper has made Americans immune to the beep. Maybe we do need click it or ticket because the car beeping is not enough to incentivize us to put the seatbelt on. When I used to do Loveline, every third person I spoke to, I could hear a low battery smoke detector charm going off. The chime was going off, beep, beep. And I would say to them, what's going on with the smoke detector? And they'd say, what smoke detector? They had tuned out the beep. So, the backup beepers have gotten Americans to tune out the beep. The concept of the beep, because you're watching TV in your living room, you're hearing the garbage truck, you're trying to take a nap, you're hearing the gardening truck, beep, beep, beep. We tune out beeps. Now, there is a smoke detector in your house, and we're tuning that fucking shit out too, which is horrible. Number 3, instead of, and tell me if you go for this, Jay, instead of the beep, go with classical music. Because I love classical music, and dumb people hate classical music. There's one universal thing that all dumb people share. They don't share, some of them like ketchup on their fries, and others like ranch on their fries, and others like them dry, but there's a universal truth with all dumb people. They hate classical music. It's like the fucking vampire and garlic. That's like, no, I don't want to have to think about anything. I hate, so they'll reject it. Put fucking classical music instead of the backup beeper. It's only dumb people who have a chance to get run over anyway, because they're always loitering behind garbage truck. Replace it with Chopin, and I will fucking forgive you.
I love that you offered improvements to both problems.
Yes.
For the click it or ticket. Yeah, write floss or check your prostate.
Right.
Happy reminders. But, yeah, the classical music instead of the beeps, because we are all tuned out to beeps. I don't even hear the beeps anymore. It's just we hear them so often.
You walk into a gas station, bing, bing, when a door opens, there's just bings.
Even car alarms, I don't care about
I'm
anymore.
driving my car, I'm switching lanes, it's beep, 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 beep.
Yeah.
Everything's got a sound. We're completely and utterly tuned out to the beep.
I think the backup
But classical music repels dumb people.
Okay, Jim, I got this fight 10 rounds to 7. Click it or ticket. Because at the end of it, Adam Carolla said, let's make some money. Okay.
That's Harold Letterman.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
All right, Harold says click it or ticket.
Click it.
All right.
Let's make some money on this shit.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
go.
Click
Jay
it
Mohr Ice
or
House
ticket.
Thursday, right on there.
And freeway weeds and trash. We'll move on to
This
the
is
next
the best
round.
fucking bit ever, Ace. I'm fired up. Let's go. Let's do the whole fucking village, man.
Tune in tomorrow as we close out the Irate 8 in the next round of March Madness.
Fuck some money up, Ace.
Madness.
Oh, I don't want to come down from that.
I thought he was doing some Teddy Atlas.
Oh,
With
I
his hair.
love.
Is there any water around? Because this is a Pier 1 brawl.
I love Teddy. No,
These guys are fighting like they're cheapskates, and every punch costs $1.
every Teddy Atlas, when he's pissed off over a bad call, bad judge's
He just
call, that's
questions-
the best.
Friday Night Fights with him and Joe Tessitore was.
Yeah.
I never missed it, and I didn't know who the fuck was fighting.
And Teddy Atlas,
guys, 98 pounders.
Teddy Atlas has a scar on his head that is 26 inches long, even though his head's only 12 inches long.
It's a meridian.
It's the craziest
longitude.
Yes, maybe the prime meridian.
It's a prime meridian.
That's
international dateline.
Jeez, it's crazy.
You get a certificate when you go from one side of his face to another.
If you tried to put that scar on a Bond villain, you tried to put that scar on a Bond villain, the creative team would say too much. It's too much.
Unbelievable.
Shorten it up.
Yeah.
He's the best.
He's the best.
Love him.
All right.
I like when the pre-fight when he gets like some guy from the gym and he goes, "Here's the key. You got to knock on the front door," and then he moves his feet and he goes, "You come in the side door." But like that fucking right hand is terrifying.
Right.
And he's just talking to a camera. He goes, "You got to come in the front door. Knock on the front door. You move your feet. You come in the side door." Like, God damn, Teddy would knock everybody out.
No, I know.
I'm still fired up from that fucking bit, Ace.
All right, we'll bring you down to earth. We'll take a break. We'll do a little extended dance news right after this. Ooh. Let me tell you about my girl, Angie. That's right, Angie's List. Well, it's now Angie, and they made it easier for you to get all the projects you need to get done, and done for your home, and done right. I use this, and I can do all of this stuff. I got the tools. I got the know-how, but I don't got the time. So I use Angie. They'll hang the pictures. They'll do the things that I don't want to do. And you get your time back. 20 plus years of home service experience, and they've combined with new tools to simplify the whole process. On the Angie app, just answer a couple of questions and they can handle the rest. See ratings and reviews, compare quotes from local pros, and connect instantly. Cross items off the to-do list with just a few taps on the phone. Whether it's routine maintenance or a dream remodel, Angie makes it easy. Right, Dawson?
Get your next project done with the help of a pro from Angie. Download the free Angie mobile app today or visit Angie.com. That's ANGI.com. In celebration of Jim Carolla's upcoming 92nd birthday, here's a list of 92 things Jim Carolla has never done. Number 39, tampered with, disabled, or destroyed a smoke detector. Just one of 92 things Jim Carolla has never done. Let's get back to the Adam Carolla Show.
All right, we got Jay, we got some news. Max Zapata, what's out there?
Well, there's a supermarket in the Bronx that has resorted to posting photos of shoplifters at the store, along with their stolen delicacy of choice. They made a wall of shame, basically.
Oh, right? Good.
Yeah, so it's the Chang Lee supermarket, and some of the nicknames they gave people are like the sausage stealer, the frying pan thief, the ban for stealing turkey necks. So it's
sausage stealer sounds like turd burglar.
Johnny Mathis.
Matt, you hear that guy's a sausage stealer?
Frying pan thief.
Yeah.
So what happens is because the police don't really do anything, and they can't go out and stop these people once they steal anything because of confrontations. Like people get stabbed, people get attacked if you try to confront them about whatever they stole. So they just let them go. But if you post their picture up, they don't come back.
First of all, that white guy's got like Soul Train laminates around his neck. He's all access.
Yeah.
That's why he got to steal sausage.
He can go anywhere he wants.
He's got to bring it to the after party with that laminate around his neck.
He came in from the back door.
Byron, there's Chris, you'd like this one. We have some Los Angeles City Council, they're trying to pass a law or trying to do an ordinance or something that makes it like a misdemeanor to possess catalytic converters. Yeah. And as she goes on this long rant about how these people who have the catalytic converters are the disenfranchised and it impacts the Hispanic community. It's like, listen, I don't give a fuck if it's all Hispanic 100% all the time or all Irish or all Vietnamese. You either steal catalytic converters or you don't, you fucking crazy whore. Yeah. And I know it impacts them. The reason it impacts them is because they steal catalytic converters. So maybe we should get them to stop stealing catalytic converters instead of figuring out the way it impacts them. And then they go, and then they steal it, and then they get arrested, and then this goes on the record. Yeah, we like to know who the thieves are, bitch. That's how
That's
it
how
works.
it works, yeah.
This is why Los Angeles is turning into a piece of shit, and the catalytic converter thievery leads the nation in the stealing of catalytic converters because of people like you and your shit policies. This is what's going on. I totally agree. Put
Shame
the fucking pictures up and shame everybody.
They've been doing that at bodegas for years, though.
Oh, yeah?
People don't pay their bill or something at the
pass
restaurant.
bad checks. I think they do that, too, at like the hardware store.
I like the bodegas in New York when they put the wrong word in quotes on their signs, like hot soup.
Right. right. Soups and quotes.
Like hot dogs, 99 cents.
Yeah, Byron, I don't know, the city council person.
When are you going to speak on a city council?
They made an announcement.
He's spoken to Congress.
Oh, yeah, I've spoken
He's
to
testified.
Congress.
But not like that.
They made...
Play that music. Hold on a second.
Right.
Play the Irate 8 music, and you speak at a city council meeting. You're going to walk
about
away.
Catalytic converters?
Yeah.
First off...
We'll now hear from the gentleman from Glendale, Adam Carolla.
I will not accept any policy made from bitches who have 3 names. Whenever they go, city council person Gloria Sanchez
Chang
suggest. I always know the suggestion is bad. When I hear 3 names, I know the fucking policy's gonna be shit. So anyone who does the 3 names, sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear any of your policies. We have a problem. People steal catalytic converters. By the way, you're not punishing 19-year-olds who steal catalytic converters by arresting them. You're teaching them valuable lessons so they do not continue in a life of crime. You coddling them aids and abets them, and now they continue to do this, and before you know it, they're in their fucking 40s, and they're fencing catalytic converters. The reason we've turned this city into an open venereal disease, a canker, a shanker. I don't remember. One of them played guitar for UFO. My point is, we need to start being tough on crime, not easy on crime. And I brought my friend McGruff, the crime dog, in to do the next 3 minutes and wrap up with me.
Here he comes. Play his music.
I love that rant. I don't think that insulting Gloria Sanchez Chang right at the top is going to help your case.
I don't know.
Hold on. Chung Kwang Abramowitz, rebuttal.
No, every time they go, city council woman, Gloria Sanchez Molina, I'm always like, whatever's next, it's going to be the shittiest fucking policy ever.
During her inhale to speak, you're just like, all right, we're done.
Well, what's the 3 named lady in New York?
Ocasio-Cortez. Yeah.
I'm guessing you're not a fan of her
No,
policies.
she's fucking horrible policies.
But you find out, she slides into your DMs. She's a huge fan. Don't even fucking tell me you ain't.
No, I'd hit that.
Yeah.
Now, what if we put her and Admiral Levine on a wheel?
I'm spinning the wheel.
You're spinning the wheel.
I think it was the April part that kind of slowed me down.
Oh, so you go 50-50? Like in the big government bracket?
She kind of looks like Teen Wolf.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, Byron, you can find this crazy woman speaking somewhere and we'll do it. Yes.
That fucking music, Dawson. Good job.
You know, the other thing that we're getting into now, which they just got into with Chicago, it's like Lori Lightfoot is like, look, we're going to have to start coaching up some of these street vendors to not have cash because they're getting robbed because they deal in cash. It's like she, about catalytic converters, wants to start educating people who own catalytic converters on like how to do this. Like, yeah, maybe take some chicken wire and staple it up under your car or park inside your living room or something like that. It's like, hey, bitch, we're not the problem. We're the taxpayer who has a catalytic converter on their fucking Honda.
Now,
the problem are the people that are stealing it. And Lori Lightfoot, the people that sell tamales in Chicago in the evening deal with cash. They're getting robbed.
Yeah. They
are not the problem. Lori Lightfoot's like, hey, all these smash and grabs where they're breaking into, these mobs are breaking in and they're stealing Louis Vuitton purses. Why aren't these stores putting these things on tethers? It's like, or
they should be emptying everything out, put it all in the back.
So it's the Louis Vuitton store's fault that the fucking mob smashed their windows?
That's a good point. Like if you go to Ross Dress for Less, the purses are like chained to the
Yeah.
But if you go to like Hermes, you can just grab a Birkin and go out.
I was just in Hermes looking at pashminas.
Oh.
And I said, why aren't these tethered?
Right.
Why is this pashmina tethered?
I could just walk out of here with this.
What would your Mexican guy, if he was in Hermes looking at a pashmina?
Hey, do you guys sell Dickies? I need your restroom. I shit my Dickies. Don't look at me. I'm chai.
Oh, Dickies. I thought you meant like the false turtleneck sweater. You mean the pants.
Yeah, my pants.
The work pants.
All right, good. Now folks shall take the law into their own hands.
That's what's happening. Yeah, because you can't do anything. I remember like when I worked at a Ross or a TJ. I actually worked at TJ Maxx.
Yeah.
And I was checking somebody out. I mean, the register checking them out. I know.
Mm-hmm.
And they obviously switched all the stickers. So I noticed that this purse is not $5. It's $80.
Right.
And the guy's like, just put it in the bag, and he had garden shears in his pocket, and he was like flashing them at me.
Wow.
And he's like, and put everything else in the bag. I'm just a kid.
Prune
so I'm,
your ass, bro.
I know. I'm just throwing everything into this bag, and I go and I tell the manager, like, that guy just stole a bunch of stuff, and he's just like, just let him go.
Yeah.
Honest answer is, you're Chris in that situation. A guy shows you. Granted, you could be stabbed to fuck all.
Yeah.
You could be killed. Get an
Some
artery.
sharp shears.
No shit. Box cutter, fucking knife, a 6-inch knife. What's your actual reaction in that situation? You're on this side of the counter. He's over there trying to steal from you, and he shows you like a box cutter.
I'm very vigilante. I've fought people with weapons in parking garages. I've chased down purse snatchers.
A gun is a gun.
But a gun is a gun.
A gun is you got it, buddy.
But
whatever you need. You want me to jerk you off on your way out?
Done.
You got. But like, you know what my response is? One syllable. Shit. Get the fuck out of here. Come on.
All right,
Really?
You know I got some wooden hangers.
You're a wrestling
No, but
coach.
I got like those like plastic hangers with the steel rod. Like, come on. Because he's got to come across the counter.
We have, who's this chick?
Didn't catch her name, but go ahead. What is it?
Eunices
Hernandez.
Oh, no third name.
We're in a starfish.
There we go.
But even if we look at our public infrastructure with street lighting, for example, there are so many things that we have.
She's coming up next
right now that we
okay.
all need to be working on so that we can provide every neighborhood in the city of Los Angeles, regardless of your zip code, the same protection and security.
Thank you, Barefoot Contessa.
To be able to live in the kind of communities that everyone aspires to live in. So I thank you for your work on it, colleagues. I ask for your aye vote.
We had to hear that part?
Any other comments, members?
Here you go.
Thanks to Councilmember Lee and Councilmember Rodriguez. You're right. This is a problem that has impacted the private sector and the public sector. And so these thefts must be apprehended. Any more discussion, members? Seeing none, let's open the roll. I'm sorry. Yes. Councilwoman.
Thank you, Council President. I just want to note that as written, it is not required to prove the catalytic converter was stolen to establish the possession is not a lawful possession, which means that the simple ignorance of the law could lead to a misdemeanor. And we're talking about vulnerable communities, and I believe that we should be supporting our communities, educating our families, educating car owners about, this issue that's occurring very frequently. But
Hold on, Chris, you've had your catalytic converter stolen.
I have.
Why weren't you educated properly?
That's my fault.
It's your fault for leaving your car somewhere?
This is my bad.
You should have slept in the car?
Yeah.
Or under the car?
I should have been educated about this. And not,
Come on, Chris.
I should keep my car running and be in it at all times. That's my bad.
This affects a vulnerable community. The community is people that fence catalytic converters, bitch. What the fuck?
It's not ignorance of the law to steal a catalytic converter.
She's saying she doesn't want anything to happen to people who just happen to have several dozen catalytic converters that have been cut off with sawzalls in the middle of the night.
They might not know it's a crime.
Yeah, they don't know it's a crime.
Yeah.
They just collect and trade catalytic converters like you do with Pokemon.
Well, let's hear it out.
All right. By the way, these
educating our families, educating car owners about, this issue that's occurring very frequently. But criminalizing the mere possession of a catalytic converter, I think is the wrong way to go, because we know which communities are going to be the ones that are most criminalized because of this. This makes it a misdemeanor.
The Jews.
It creates a fine of $1,000. You can go to jail for 6 months. Even a short incarceration of a couple days can destabilize someone's life forever and leads to collateral consequences that they have to carry until they can get an expungement if they can get that. And as written, it requires you to have more information and more backup and pictures.
This is insane.
More than it takes to require, to register a vehicle, which is already difficult. So I just am not in agreement with creating more opportunities to criminalize our communities. But I do welcome
if they do something,
an opportunity
if they
to discuss with LAPD and other stakeholders on how we actually solve this issue, maybe implement more solutions that prevent catalytic converters from being stolen instead of just responding to potential ownership of those.
All right. You just heard everything that's wrong with everyone on the left's ideas. Every Democrat, that's how they approach it. That's it. Nothing ever gets fixed. It gets worse because of bitches like this. They're fucking nuts. And this is and they're on some board or some council or something.
There's no way she didn't immediately hit a Mountain Dew after that.
Oh my God.
She did.
They're trying to lower criminalizing these people and then have them stop committing crimes. Who
are these people?
It affects, the community it affects. Yes, it affects, I guess she's talking about Hispanic, but it doesn't really matter what community it affects. You have to fucking figure it out, bitch. Jesus Christ. How many times I told you? Fucking chick think. Fucking chick think. This is chick think run wild and we're fucked. Los Angeles is like the chick thinkiest capital of the world. We are fucked. That's the way it works.
How did she think she's going to speak, or how did she come up with all that and think this is going to make perfect sense?
How did she not catch her breath?
That too, yeah. She was having a tough time. Yeah, she's a lot.
Hit the inhaler, mama.
I think
hey,
she
Grimace.
Hit that. Yeah.
Where's my fries, Grimace?
Oh God, these people are fucking.
How do we pick you up again? Come on,
I got to move. You got to move.
You got to move.
All right, let's do another story.
All right, let's see here. An Idaho governor signed a new law, and they are the 5th state to legalize firing squad executions.
Whoa!
If lethal injection drugs are unavailable. So,
okay. How much does it cost to kill somebody?
Is the music licensed just for the Irate 8?
Use it for whatever we want.
Here's the deal.
Because I don't want to ruin the bit.
The people that think it's cruel, they think the firing squad is cruel.
Not cruel at all.
You do understand we are killing somebody.
Yeah.
Sorry. Could be lethal injection, but lethal injection, they think sometimes you suffocate on your own saliva or whatever. It can be traumatizing as well. They should all be, okay, they have trouble getting the drugs, the lethal injection drugs. There's a bunch of stuff involved with it. It should all be firing squad. That would be awesome. And let's not traumatize the law enforcement guys or the marksmen or the retired cops that comprise the firing squad.
That's what I was thinking.
Let's get guys who are on death row in the same facility who've shot people from a distance. Only people who've shot people, not liquor store shootings.
From a distance.
Yes. Let's get them to do it. Or wait a minute. The firing squad should be comprised of the family of the victim.
Whoa, yeah!
So you take Uncle Ted. This guy killed Marie when he busted into her house in 1996 and stabbed her and stole her jewelry. This guy's an avid hunter. He probably has a 30-06,
and he gets to keep his head.
And he fucking gets to squeeze the trigger.
Some closure
and we
there,
take the nephew who was a marksman in the Marines. He's on the entire group consists of people that have a big problem with this dude because he took the life.
It's the worst family feud ever.
You only get to death row if you kill somebody. If you kill somebody, very good chance there's people left behind, grieving husbands or wives or fathers or sons. Well, let them have some experience holding the gun. Let them do it. Then they won't have the psychological trauma that just a garden variety firing squad would have. Would you do this, or you want to get my prisoners out of death row and have them do it. Although I'm worried about giving them guns.
Yeah, that's
sure.
the
I'd
fatal
say
flaw.
you got one
Dangerous,
bullet,
yeah.
bro. Hey,
it's the
hey,
fatal-
It's
gangbanger.
pre-aimed. You just press the trigger. You can't turn the gun.
Hey, gangbanger.
Is this a zip gun?
No, it's just it's a rifle.
It's
but
a ghost gun on me.
No, it's not a ghost gun.
The serial number is my inmate number.
But speaking of ghosts, how come they're not more Mexican ghosts?
Oh, I don't know, cabrón. Puta sa chinga madre, cabrón.
How about the bounty hunter droid from Mandalorian? Bring that shit in. Mm-hmm. My favorite character ever.
Yeah.
You have no idea what I'm talking about.
Or maybe we get Alec Baldwin to do it.
Oh my God!
too
Over
soon.
the line, market
Too
zero.
soon.
But I like the bounty hunter idea. Maybe whoever's getting shot gets to choose like a last meal. Oh, I pick the 5 characters who kill me, and then those
You have to
that's who's
show
lined
up in the garb. Yeah.
Mickey.
Yeah.
Go to
Mandalorian.
Universal City Walk.
Yeah.
Get some. I want
Jesus.
Chip and Dale.
Or
Disney.
maybe, you know who I would choose? I would choose old-timey British servicemen with the big red vest and the sash and the hats and everything.
World War I with their shorts.
Because I would then, as they're getting ready to shoot, I would go, I regret that I only have one life to give to my country.
Whoa.
Because then it looks like I'm going out a hero instead of a guy who killed a homeless guy. You know what I mean?
You can kill the man, but you can never kill the idea in the man's
Right,
head.
as they're tapping on
He
the
sounds
drum.
like Cesar Chavez.
Brum, brum, brum. Now I go out as a
Oh, you're
fucking
gonna have a
patriot.
band.
Just a snare, just one drum.
Was all our wars? Was all of England's wars against like deaf armies?
Yeah, brum.
They had flute, flute, flute.
All right, another story.
Bright red uniforms in the snow.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And a band. Charge! Ba-ra-ta-ta, here we come.
By the way, Idaho 8 current death row inmates right now.
Good.
And, and this, as I
Shoot
said,
'em all.
when lethal injection goes wrong, they would
Good.
do this because it does go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I wouldn't want to be one of the guys that I don't want to shoot some fucking criminal.
No,
guy.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
want to do
No,
that
me neither.
either.
I'll be one of the guys that shoots the blank.
I wonder if there's a guy. I wonder if you did the family member firing squad, which I would argue for. I bet there'd be one uncle that would show up like on 4 beers and
Shirt open.
shoot him in the balls 10 seconds before everyone else did the headshot. You know what I mean?
Ready?
Pop! Ah, my balls! What?
Come on, get us a drink.
They're going on 3.
Hey, if you guys want to do a little less yelling at me and a little more shooting of that fucking con over there and put him out of his misery.
I'll
put
clean
him
it
out
up.
of his fucking misery.
I'll clean it up. Let me clean it up.
Just fucking shoot him already. You think I'm the bad guy? You're the guy yelling at me while he bleeds out through his sack.
Like that Colin Quinn bit when somebody spills their drink and they clean it up, they make it worse. I got it. Wow. Fucking Ace is on fire today.
Yeah. All right, what else we got?
All right. So Jane Fonda was in a movie back in the day with Jennifer Lopez, Monster-in-Law. And she went on the Drew Barrymore show, and she talked about this scene where they slap each other a few times, and this is what she had to say about that.
Okay, Jane, this is for you. Barbarella.
Wait, there was a time code. Did you see the time code on that?
For the benefit of the court, please explain time code.
Anybody names that movie, I'll give him $20.
Oh, God. I don't know. What movie is
Barbarella.
No. Let me also point out that these tapes are time coded, and that's very hard to fake.
For the benefit of the court, please explain time coding.
Well, just because I don't know what it is doesn't mean I'm lying.
I don't know what movie that is.
Strange Brew.
Oh,
Paul
really?
Dooley. When he's
I
lying,
love Paul Dooley.
He's lying in court. He said he has a photographic memory. Is
Paul-
that Bonaparte? It's Napoleon, actually.
Paul Dooley in Breaking Away.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I wanted him to be in The Hammer, by the way. All right, I don't know if we have Jane Fonda or not.
Is that Madonna?
Let's see.
I slap her, she slaps me, I slap her. Well, Jennifer, as per Jennifer, she had this enormous diamond ring. And so when she slapped me one of the times, it cut open across my eyebrow. So I just, and she's never apologized.
Yeah, so she's really upset that J-Lo hasn't apologized yet.
Yeah.
Jane Fonda's a bad mamma jamma, dude.
Yeah?
Yeah.
She's still fine.
I know. I hate her, but
I know.
Did you see when she was on Norm's podcast? And
Oh,
it was
yeah.
it really was like they were going to go home and fuck.
It wasn't.
It was so weird.
It wasn't Norm's podcast.
It's
It
a
was
video
Norm's.
podcast.
I thought it was his TV show.
Huh.
It wasn't a
The one with
TV show.
Adam Egret.
I don't think that was a podcast though. I think it was a show.
But you're feeling good vibes from her, Norm?
I think I can.
Norm, was that sports? The sports show?
No. You're talking about coitus?
Netflix is a joke.
Norm Macdonald. Oh, there you go.
Has a
Yeah,
show, but this is not a podcast.
Well, I made a mistake. I may be an old chunk of coal. That doesn't mean
I know.
I don't roll snake eyes sometimes, like Billy Joe Shaver. Oh my God! It was great.
Billy Joe Shaver.
Look at that shit making out.
They lip kiss.
Wow.
Look at him.
Billy
Hold
Joe-
on. Look at the man grab of the
There's
back of her
passion
head.
in this
That's
kiss.
a daddy right there. He's like, get over here, you little fucking minx.
Norm.
What kind of cancer did Norm have, Jay? Did you ever find that one out?
I don't know.
It's a little weird, isn't it, that no one knows?
It's just so Norm.
Yeah.
What about Norm on Ghost Adventures? Hey!
Got a reading.
Yeah, you guys should probably go somewhere else. I'm trying to sleep, you know? Come on, Ghost! Do you not want us here? I never said that. Oh my God, what the H?
Yeah, Norm would be such a nice ghost.
You guys make yourselves comfortable.
Yeah, every once in a while I'll be looking for something on the internet and me and Norm breaking down Kenny Rogers songs will come up and I'll always have to listen to it.
I'm going to listen to it on the way home.
It's always
I didn't even know it existed.
He's so funny. Acute leukemia, 9-year battle. So we do know what it is. Per Neil Macdonald.
How great. Have you seen Mike Tyson Mysteries, that cartoon?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah. I've seen it. I've not seen episodes of it, but I've seen it.
Season past it, and I'll just watch it at night because they're only like 8 minutes, 11 minutes long, and like Norm's the voice of a sex addict pigeon.
Oh, really?
I've always loved a giant labia.
Oh, really?
Just a pigeon just sitting next to Mike Tyson talking about pussy.
I did not know that. All right, let's bring it home, Max Zapata. Jay Mohr got shows. Well, Ice House this Thursday. Come on out.
Let's fill it. Let's get it on.
Jay's an amazing stand-up.
Yeah.
That'll be March 30th.
Do you have a wedding date lined up or any?
Talk off the air.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Jay Mohr, Altamont is the name of the stand-up show, and you can check it on Amazon, YouTube, and Google Play, and all that kind of stuff. And me, Turlock, California, at the Community Theater, coming up April 7th, and then Fresno, April 8th. And you just go to adamcarolla.com for all the live shows. Until next time, it's Adam Carolla for Jay Mohr. Chris Max Zapata saying, mahalo.